finally reviewing the RDF LT. I know this was a long time. I am sorry, audience. I had other things to do. I had Christmas and New Year's on those days. It wasn't really easy to review the tank, and plus, I wanted to play it a few more just to get a good viewing on the tank, so that way it'd be fair to do this review. And also with us is our Canadian friend Chunks that's also gonna talk about and help us with this review too.
Yay!
By the way, just to let you know, audience, his mic has a delay, so my apologies if any audio input got a little staticky. So let's just get right to it because we got a lot to talk about this tank because there is so much to talk about this. First and foremost, everybody always asks me in my reviews, is it better than the Mauler tank? And honestly, in my opinion, no. The Mauler tank has way more faster speed. They both are identical, but the concealment is way worse, up to 255 millimeters of spotting compared to the Mauler's 243. That's a big difference. And even though it has more viewing range, you see, that's because I put binoculars on it. The viewing range are the same. So Mauler's more faster and stuff like that. However, the only difference is, and I think the RDF LT has a faster reload, but I don't know. They're both similar when it comes to reloading. It's very, very hard to tell. It depends on your commander too, but trust me when I say this, they're very, very fucking close. So Mahler beats it by only two things, to be honest with you. But to get that argument aside, I don't know. What do you think, Chunks? Do you think any difference between the two?
I mean, there's a couple differences between the two,
Oh, how so? Go ahead.
but that just comes down to like the premise of it. So, Mauler was made in real life. This was just a prototype. But
Yeah,
this one's gun was different slightly in what it was meant to be used for. So the Mauler's use was primarily just to be super accurate and try and fire as many rounds as possible and
that
then
is
to
true.
run away.
That's true.
That
That's
that
how.
was its real life role.
And I'm not trying to interrupt you, Chunks. For those really curious who wants to look at the Mauler, I will leave a description down there to link of my video of reviewing the Mauler. But anyway, continue.
But the Rapid Force Light Tank, it wasn't made besides like one or two prototypes. So what I'm assuming is they're going off of the end stages of the RDF.
Yeah, RDF.
And
Sorry, the audio cut out there, but I was going to rephrase it to you guys. Continue.
yeah, but I don't know. It's like very small differences. Like the gun is slightly different, and the power to weight ratio is slightly different, and
That
the
is true.
turret. And I think
That
that's honestly the only difference.
we're going to get right into that because the thing we're going to look at immediately, as anyone knows me very well, is the armaments. Now, of course, light tanks, you're going to say, well, Fury, light tanks have no armor. I mean, look at that. Purple, purple, light purple. This thing has crap. Hold the phone, because I have played this tank a lot, more so than an average reviewer, and I've noticed 90 mils. I have a hard time penning it in the front because of that 45-degree slope. I had a hard time killing it with my Hiss tank. I had a hard time killing it with the Arctic Hiss tank. Even the Armadillo sometimes bounces the front on this vehicle. This thing can, I guarantee you, light tanks, if you angle just a little bit 10 degrees, this thing can ricochet other light tanks, which is beautiful because that's terrifying for anyone who's playing a light tank. Yes, you're not going to block ATGMs. That's a given. That's a fucking given. But you can block their standard AP rounds, which is beautiful in my opinion. Which honestly, I see that a lot more with this tank than the Mauler, so I guess you could say a little bit difference there. But to me personally, this thing actually does block 90 mil guns AP pretty good. However, yes, ATGMs are going to kill it. There's no point of reviewing heavily with the armaments because, again, anything bigger than a 90 mil is going to kill it, and that's mostly every medium tank in the game, every heavy tank, and now tank destroyers. Well, there's only one for the Americans, but you get my point. So I'm not going to go all in depth because it's the same kind of armament as the Mauler. Again, link in the description for the curious. But let's just say it can bounce 90 mils frontally if you angle slightly because there's like a couple of spots you could pen right in the middle of the tank. But again, look how tiny that is compared to that. And usually some light tanks usually go on the move or sit in the back sniping. That's going to be pretty hard to hit if you have a 90 mil gun. So kudos for that. I will have to say I give him credit for that at least. But that's all that I've seen different is I've seen it bounced a lot. Even Chunks can even say he's seen 90 mils do that.
Yeah, I had a T2 last with heat.
Yeah, I apologize, audience. Young said, yeah, it lagged again. But he said yes. He basically saw that with the T2 lights and stuff. I think T2 lights? Well, basically Soviet
T72.
lights. T72. Sorry, you lagged out, so. Okay, T72. So let's get right to that because we got a lot more to talk about because I want to do talk about the ending and all that, and there is a lot more to talk about. So let's talk about its gun. Obviously, anyone knows it's 75 millimeters autocannon. Beautifully done in my opinion. I know you're all thinking 90 mil couldn't pen this, but yet a 75 is deadly. Yes, because this is late war 90 mil. This is like terrifying 90 mil. Remember, these tanks were not designed to kill heavy tanks easily, although Chunks can disagree because he has killed a bunch of tanks with this gun. But they were designed to drop behind enemy lines and raid convoys behind enemy lines. That's why they were known as the hard to kill light tanks to go behind enemy lines. But the way how they play here, they don't act like 75s. They act like 105s because they pen pretty damn good, in my opinion. Like, I've seen them pen through some good tanks, like the Mauler and all that. And yes, I know the Mombat and all that is heavily armored, but you could still fucking harm it. But
Fan has
still,
frontal plate and turret in this thing.
yeah. So and also, I forgot to tell you about the armaments too, audience. The head turret that Chunks did said is more rounded than Mauler. See, like if you look at this, it's more slightly angled. Where if I pull up the Mauler, really quick, audience, just really quick, it's kind of the same, a little bit smaller, but it's more upwards a little bit. You have to see it in game to understand what I'm getting at, because the head turret is a little bit different than you could see the difference right here when I switch it back forward. See, Mauler, smaller, a little bit more angled, but somehow could easily pen in this game. Don't ask me why. And here's this. It has a viewing range scope on it, which is a viewport, and the head turret's a little bit bigger. So yeah, big difference. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't want to lost sidetrack because I don't want to take this review up so long. Um, Firing rate 19.4 rounds per second. Now, I'm trying to remember how many shells has this thing had. I'm trying to remember exactly. Did it have like 5, 6 rounds in this?
6.
Chunk? 6? Thank you. See, it's good to have a Canadian here. So you're firing 6 rounds and then you reload like if you have a good crew in it, probably like 15 or like 14 seconds reload if you have a good crew. But I know a lot of people are going to say that's not a killer tank. Well, if anyone's seen my Mauler review, these tanks were not designed to kill heavily health tanks. They were designed to be support roles. I mean, if you want to kill something and you want single shot rapid fire, go with the Hiss with the 90 mil. Then you never go wrong with there. Or annoy people like the armadillo. God, that tank. Anyway, um, so accuracy really good. A little bit harder aim time than the Mauler. When, like Chunk says, the Mauler can pump out shells and be accurate with them. This one you may have to wait a little bit with the aim time with this, and you'll see that in game what we're talking about. It's not bad, heaven forbid. No, I played the cat, and the cat has a long aim time, where this one has a average aim time. Like you won't notice it, but you will notice it if you play the Mauler and this at the same time. So a little bit on that. It's not bad. Let's just say that. Not bad. Um, damage AP. Now, this is something me and Chunks have to discuss. So, 250 damage a shot. How many times do you averagely roll that one, Chunks?
I've hit 250 damage on this.
Wait, what? How?
Like once in a blue moon.
Okay, that's better. I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, I've hit for 250 one time, and that was literally because I went and ammo racked him for 250.
That's
But
why.
don't ever expect to hit more than like 150. You
Oh
might get the
God.
occasional 190, but anything more than that is lucky.
I would say the average roll for this, for you guys, since paper never tells the truth, I would say 190 to 180 damage a shot, especially depending on how heavily the armor is. I've low rolled to 160 before, but that's me firing like 900 meters away, shooting at weak spots at a tank, and obviously this thing shoots like decent ammo, so they still think the penetration is not that good and damage is not that good far away. So yeah, and if you see on the bottom, you fire APFSDS. God, I can't say that 5 times fast. Um, they're like small shells shooting at a tank, so it makes sense the farther away you are, the less damage you're gonna do in the tank. But that's my opinion, at least. Um, penetration at 100 meters is 354. Perfect. Tanks like this in the rank 2 areas, which remind again, this is a rank 2 era tank, perfect for that penetration. Thumbs up on my opinion. Penetration for 2,000 meters, 308. Okay, slightly 50 or 40 points off, but not bad. Not bad. As you can tell, this tank could be easily a sniper tank. Very, very easily. Which, God, I love tanks like that. Especially when this type of mode where big tanks with ATGMs and stuff can fucking kill you. But I'm just saying, maybe it's just me. I have problems with ATGMs, as you can tell. I hate them. I'm pretty sure Chunks doesn't too.
If I see an ATGM fired at me, that person's getting targeted till the end of the game.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And then
They
the
will
ammo
die.
yeah, me too with them. Ammo capacity is also 72. All right. So, without saying much, obviously every stat is the same as the Mauler. Again, I did a better description of describing the whole entire penetration stuff. Link in the description for the curious. So, I won't go too far with the penetration easily. However, I will talk about the things that it has problems with it. Obviously, the speed is only 64. So this is a more heavier version than the Mauler, which makes sense because the Mauler is tinier. As you could tell by looking at them neck to neck. Yeah, they have the same distance length, but this is more bigger. So yeah, speed's going to be cut down by the mass of metal that's here. And concealment, as you expect from a bigger tank, is like 10 plus higher. So that's all that you really need to know. Everything else from the turret, well, actually, no, there is another thing we could talk about. Turret rotation on this is slower than the Mauler. I don't know why, but it just feels like that. Chunks, do you think so?
The turret rotation speed,
Yeah.
I think on this one is actually like legitimately slower.
Yeah, like, don't get us wrong. I get it, audience, you're gonna be defending things like it's not that bad. I'm not saying that for a light tank player, but you notice it when you play the Mauler and that at the same time. It just doesn't feel fast. I mean, yeah, it turns okay, but then your mind, in the back of your head, you're going like, this feels sluggish. That's how you feel about when you turn this gun.
Well,
So,
apparently they're both 60 degrees a second.
yeah, that's the thing that's fucked up, but yet the Mauler feels so faster. I
Yeah, because like
unless
even
I
the RDF, it's
unless I
pretty
give you
slow.
unless I can give you the controller, audience, you have to see what I'm talking about because it just feels like the Mauler is slightly faster. I wish I could just give you a tank for the day and give it back, like not let you keep it, but obviously let you play it for a day, give you the controller and say, here, test it, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But Maybe it's just us, but I'm just saying it just feels that fucking sluggish. Horsepower is the same, tracks are the same, communication range basically the same. There's no difference. The only reason why you see my review range better than that is because let's talk about what we could fix it. Um, what I have on here is ventilations, decrease that reloading, aim time, do pretty much aim in when you're sniping. I know that's kind of you don't need, but trust me, I'd rather be quick shots because this is, Cold War, and you're gonna get spotted a lot. You're gonna get motherfucking spotted a lot. So yeah, keep that in mind. And binoculars to snipe out the enemy. What do you think, Chunks? What do you think you could put for equipment pieces on this?
What I've got on mine is advanced gunling drive, traction system, because that's one thing you didn't talk about, how horrendous the hull rotation speed is.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about that. The whole turning is a lot. I mean, the Mauler did had the whole rotation problem too. I'll give it that, but for a bigger tank, you don't want the whole clutching fucking downright an F where the Mauler's so tiny he could get away with it. So,
But then I have
anyway.
gun stabilizer, so I just
So,
have a
yeah.
sniping build.
So basically, yeah, what me and Chunks are saying, turn this into a sniper build. That's all you need to do. And if you have problems with the speed, you could do the clutch braking, you can do the, traction system to make it even better. But besides that, don't turn this into a brawler. Don't even put small liner on it. Yes, I know, audience. There's ATGMs. I know you're afraid of them in this tank. Believe me, I would too. But that's wasting an equipment space against other tanks that you need to focus on. I mean, let's face it, there's not many tanks that use ATGMs no more, especially the new season pass tank that ATGMs was kind of useless to that tank. But still, not getting off track. Let's just go straight to the commanders now. Now, obviously, when you get this tank, you get the season pass ultimate, you get this British commander. Which, hold the phone, wasn't this tank American?
Yeah,
Then why did we get a British commander? Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to get into political shit. Um, let's go right to the skills.
the British commander was meant for the British tank.
Exactly. So you get this commander of 2 stars, which sucks because that's a huge letdown compared to the last season pass that was cheap, where we got the zombie for 3 stars. Now, in case you're wondering, for those who are new in World of Tanks, really quick, when you get commanders in this game, they have stars on them. And I was wondering, what the fuck is the stars for? Until I'd see the top right corner. Earning rates. If you have a commander with 3 stars on the top right corner, it's 130%, meaning it makes more crew XP than a standard one commander that only makes 100%. So you get a commander that's only 115. That sucks. Because, like, again, with the zombie that came out, he was 130%, which was a good value for the tank that he's in. Not the tank that he's in now. I just switched him over to his proper tank. Frankenstein's in the creature. But my point is, they give out more crew XP than this British guy. And that sucks. Especially when the tank is a light tank. Crew XP is everything to get everything going. And it took me a while to do it. And yes, I've been playing AIs to play test this tank, and yeah, it's not bad. So the first 2 perks I immediately put on here is reloading thing. Now you don't need Born Leader, but I did because I needed that reloading down. Pretty damn good. But for the other perks, Iron Mace. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Iron Mace, would that work with this tank? Even though it's firing a Pacific type of small armor, especially when it says penetration abilities.
Yep.
Okay, so Iron Mace is a must, especially when you're sniping, audience. Barrett clutch breaking, definitely a must. And there's no point in concealment because, again, Cold War. I really wish they had a mode where you had a choice between being seen and not being seen. But whatever, it's what the people want. 6 cents, again, that's up to you. Um, Central awareness, increase 6 tenths to your minimum range. Definitely a must. Um, Marking target, well, that's if you want to turn this into a light tank. But again, after saying the clutch braking and head rotation is kind of slow, there's really no point at going to the front line spotting something to keep it spotted. But that's, again, your guy's choice, but I wouldn't highly recommend it. Um, Armaments, there's really no point unless you're a frontline person with it. But again, no. And that's it. Do you see any other perks that you think that would work with this, Chunks?
Uh, no, not really.
All right. So, just like we said before, stay true being sniper. Don't be an idiot charging with us. Unless you have a squad that's helping you. All right. So, now let's talk about the final thing, and then we could finally get into battle. This is taking longer than I thought, but that's what happens when you do these reviews. You want to get every detail out. So, the cost of ammunition. Obviously, your rounds are always going to be APFSDS, and I'm not saying the rest because holy fucking shit. What is with today's tanks with long ass names? Why not just say 88 millimeter shells, 90 millimeter shells, 10 millimeter, 105
Be
millimeter shells? But yet they go
because the
into.
round fist is
I
armor piercing, fin stabilized, discarding sabot.
Yeah, try saying that 5 times. Load that one, Hans. It's like, what is the? It's APS, but gets killed fucking trying to say the fucking round alone.
APFSDS?
Okay, smart ass. You could say it really fast, but I keep 37 of these. The cost of one round per clip. I mean, like if you're doing like a clip shooting, you have to times it by 6, which I'll do the math up there for you on the top screen. So you're doing times 6 of 154 equals to that up there. Yeah, this is a lot of money if you missed a lot. So make sure you, when you're shooting, at least hit one or two of that shells. Otherwise, yeah, that's. But it's not as bad as the premium. Same thing again, except for with a DU on it. Um, 5,200 a show. I keep 25, but this is because goes against heavily armored tanks. Why? Because at 100 meters is 418, 2,000 meters is 269 millimeters of pen. That is perfect because again, if you're going to shoot premium, I wouldn't recommend it. I hate premium tanks that say, I load nothing but premium. Why? You can make more money with the cheaper rounds being intelligent on how to pen these things than spamming premium to kill a tank in any direction. I get it, you want to kill a tank, but this is a game. You want to make money, don't you? Don't you want to have that 29 million I have up there? I didn't make it by just spamming premium, audience. That's just dumb. But anyway, that's just my opinion. And then you got the high explosive. I packed this for light tanks. So you got high explosive rounds, which is 130 a clip times 6. So again, I keep 10 because penetration at 100 meters is 170, 500 meters, 170. I keep these for the annoying bastard light tanks. Like you lovely armadillos out there, fans. I keep these for you because I fucking hate you. All right, so after all that talking, let's just get into the game and show you what we're talking about. All right, so Duca Pass. Oh my God, it's the same amount of. All right, keep bumping into these FV things. So we're gonna talk about our personal
Hey,
opinion on
there's a
this
tank up
tank.
there, Fist. Do I shoot it?
Nope.
You see it?
Yeah, that's the funny part about the elevation. It's designed to even shoot down fucking planes. Thank God this is not War Thunder.
Oh, sorry, Grandma. I crashed into your house.
Jesus. Anyway, I was trying to say, we're gonna
Um,
try to say our personal opinion on these tanks, but if we're in the middle of a heat of a battle, my apologies, because this is real time. We are not thinking straight. We're trying to put on a good show for you
we
guys.
have more health than medium tanks.
Well, yeah, because we're a bigger tank. The fuck? Oh shit!
That was the ATGO. The
Uh,
ATGO went right into my camera. I saw like the pixels on it.
damn it. Where did that shell go? Alright. Gotta concentrate. Sorry, audience. Just enjoy the show. We'll talk
Oh,
about the personal thing at
ow.
the end. Fuck! Finally, Penu, but we lost a tank. Good.
This was a really bad side to go to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about pulling back. How about you?
Um, I think if you pull back, we're gonna end up probably losing this side.
Oh, this is not what the tank is designed to do.
Oh my god, this T-62.
Oh, I see him. Maybe I can do some jab shots on him. Apparently, he's Russian. Wasn't that considered traitor to the motherland?
M60. What the heck?
He wanted you dead more
Team,
than. I'm shooting
team.
him. I gotta reload. Ow, ATGM.
He just completely ignored the Conqueror. The frick, man?
He
What did
didn't
I ever
like
do to
you.
him? I know. Going after me because I'm Canadian? Holy crap, man.
We got a lot of ATGMs rolling up.
I know we do, but there's nothing really I can do about him.
Well, just pepper them full of lead. Ow. And they broke my turret. That's why I couldn't.
Oh, I can't see them because there's smoke.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
both
I see him.
bullying me. Because I have no help over here.
Hello, how goes it?
Oh, I bugged out. Oh, shit.
He
Yeah,
bounced?
yeah, the frontal part of it is more easier to block the
No, it was
ATGMs.
an ATGM.
Keep bending them. Goddamn smoke screen. I hate smoke screens with a passion in this game. Are they dead?
Uh, both of them are almost dead.
Whew, okay, audience. Lesson, like, there's a lesson for you right there. Now let's show you what you're supposed to do is being sniping, but that's a heavily armored tank. That's gonna be a fucking dime in a million to pen that shit. Because the rounds are so fucking tiny. So yeah, sorry we're not saying much. It's just, like I said, real time. We'll talk about it at the end.
And most of my talking has just been inaudible
Yeah.
screaming.
Ooh, yeah, ah. Got him.
I'm gonna go gang on this dude.
Ah, fuck. Come on, hold still. As you can tell, audience, I'm not designed to be. I'm not good sniping at all. I'm coming in as
Oh,
slow
I
as
run
I
away
am.
now. My mag is gone. So, I run away.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
So you can play this like a light tank too, audience. I know I said it's not really designed to snipe, but when you got a good confident team, well, confident, we were mostly screaming most of the time because we just saw a bunch of fucking tanks charging us.
And I saw the pixels of an ATGM.
Exactly. So yeah, I can't really say much. So yeah, I'm not on the top leaderboard because again, sniping tanks is not my fun unless it has armaments to it. But you can't argue the result. I made 138,000 credits for just doing little damage. I mean, I destroyed some tanks, yeah, but they were kill steals. So I didn't really do much. I didn't really get a good showing on it. But that's the name of the game of World of Tanks, is to roll the ball. Even though the tank is designed to do this, you have to play it sometimes outside the boundary. And that's what this tank can do. How much did you make, Chunks?
I made
Of
229,841.
course, you're dead. Because where the hell are you? Oh, you're right above me. You did 1,000 more damage than me. Like
I also
around
have
that.
30 direct hits and 5
That.
detections.
Yeah, you weren't. I suck at sniping. I will admit that. You'll see it on YouTube. I suck at sniping. But at least Chunks was there to show it can hit. It's just I'm not good at slow rotating turrets trying to gun down light tanks from afar. I've lost my touch in that. So let's go back to the final verdict. So, audience, final verdict. Well, I didn't really show much of a game on it, but Chunks did a better job of it. But Chunks, what do you rate this tank?
What do I rate it?
Yeah, that's what I ask every time when someone's with me.
Um.
I always ask them first before me.
Oh wow, I see. Putting me on the hot seat. Um.
Maybe.
Honestly, it's a good tank. Don't get me wrong. Like, but
Sorry, audience,
I
behind
only
me, I'm
play
drinking.
it. I only play it to just have fun and to goof around. Uh, in my opinion, it's 4.
Ooh,
Like, there's
4?
better tanks that you can get, but
True.
for me, I just play it to goof around. I
Yeah.
don't personally like it, but at the same time, I don't personally dislike it.
Okay. So 4 out of 10. Well, for me, I'm gonna go in a little bit more depth, but I mean, Chunks is not wrong. There are way more better light tanks now than ever. I mean, we even have a rank 3 light tank with, again, if you want me to review that one, the TCM ATGS. Hey, I'm all down for it. But there's also the Armadillo, there's the Hiss, there's the Arctic Hiss, and also a better version of that tank, the Mauler, which is more faster and like able to do basically the same. So, but however, I can't give it too much shit because in the store it's literally 6,000 gold, which thank you Wargaming. Please keep it like this. I don't want to see season passes that are 14,000 gold. Always keep it 6,000 gold. I don't care if it's that bad of a tank because honestly, at the end of the day, that's cheaper than, most tanks in this fucking game. So I can't really disc it for that. However, even though it gives you 25 elite head start, even though it gives you a commander with some things, it feels like a huge disappointment over the Halloween bundle. I mean, they don't even give you the courtesy to make this commander a 3 stars, making you get 130% more crew XP training. That sucks. Because again, the Halloween, the zombie was perfect because you get more XP of crew training than this guy does, which that really sucks. The tank itself, though, for this deal, I find it fun. Now it's a lot more harder now because everybody's spamming the FV fucking tank in the season pass, which we will review soon. I would say that this tank is slowly dying. You don't see it a lot on the battlefield, and maybe you will down the road, and like the FV will die off for the next season pass tank that comes out. But personally, the rounds are too small, in my opinion, and it's like the Armadillo, even though the Armadillo I gave it a good, decent rating. However, with the value you get here and stuff like that, and kind of feeling outdated now between every tank that you see. I mean, there's tanks that fire ATGMs now. When the Mauler came out, the Mauler there wasn't that many ATGMs. It was a beginning light tank, kind of like the Hiss was my favorite before all the ATGMs came out. This one's okay for fighting against light tanks, but you need a good team, you need a good crew, you need to have people protecting your ass, and you gotta know where your enemies are because just like in that last game we just saw, holy shit, they were like all around us, and I didn't see it until the last fucking minute when I was trying to look out in the balcony, and Chunks is like, "Hey, there's some enemy tanks here." Shit. Even though it worked out in the end, but still, you get my point. So I'm beating around the bush. For the season pass, for everything else you see on this, I would give it probably a 5 out of 10. It's average. It is average to dear fucking God. The tank, it's fun. I'm not disking the tank, but yes, the tank has flaws against modern tanks today. I mean, If it goes up against Armadillo, it could kill it, yeah, but Armadillo can fuck it up really bad. Can't go up against ATGMs that easily. Can't play as a light tank because, again, even though it has speed and agility and can flank, that gun turret rotation when they're up close to you and stuff like that, yeah, it's just no, just that. And I think it's a fair rating because you do get a good deal out of it. You get a commander for that. You get the 25 points plus. You get all this yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, the tank is meh. That's basically how to describe that tank. It's meh. It's decent. There's better other ones that could probably do better. Let's move on and enjoy the day because if you want this tank and you want to see it like you don't have the Mauler, but this is your only option, I think it's fun. I really think it's fun. It's a really fun tank. I'm just saying between every other light tank I saw up to this point, even standard tanks, it just feels underpowered. And what do you think, Chunks, of me saying all that? Do you think you agree since you play this tank heavily?
Yeah, I mean, like we saw last game, he was getting just harassed by BMP1s. We are getting harassed by ATGM slingers. There's nothing really that this thing has that sets it apart from the other light tanks of the tier.
And let's be fair about this too, audience. Let's be fucking fair. Sniping's kind of dead in Cold War unless you got certain maps, because everybody just goes in mosh pitting everybody. You just saw that last game. The fucking some of the tanks they had could have hold down and made our job a living nightmare. No, they pushed chunks like that light tank pushed chunks when there were so many tanks there. It's like what? Why? Why is that medium tank doing that? That's Cold War. Everybody just fucking says mosh pit and just fuck each other like a bunch of big, huge orgy going on. That's basically the describing how Cold War is now. And for this tank, surviving in that type of gameplay these day and age is not doing well at all. Like, not even close. So, thank you all so much for watching. Tune in very soon because we are about to also review, since I did finally got it, FV 4211. Now that's going to be a fun tank to review. But until then, I hope you comrades find it useful. I hope you comrades know the fact that it is an underpowered light tank, but it still can be fun. But it's just not well fit to the whole entire genre of the battle thoughts and light tanks that they are today. So, thank you so much. Thank you, Chunks. And we'll see you,
Yep.
comrades, in the next video. Take care, comrades.